Stella, Splash, Simba, Boo, Sammy, Richard, Nancy, Goldie, Ziggy, Ringo, Eva, Hydrox, and Ditto, the Lucky Ferals. It's 9:15 a.m. and the cats are trying the Stella and Chewy's beef patties. They're having them for the first time. And they were still like really cold when I got up this morning, even though they were out like on the counter all night while I was sleeping. But I guess because I put them in a bowl with a cover on it, that they retained a lot of their coolness. So I had to kind of squish them together like they're a pate and then add some warm water to them. It still might be kind of cold, but Boo's really enjoying it. Like, he was crying. He's like, give me the food. So he and Simba are really enjoying it. Here's Stella and Splash wanted to eat under the table, so I gave him his food under there, but he's still not eating it. And this is Stella's food, and I put some of the freeze-dried chicken on it. She doesn't want it. I gave her some crunchy. She doesn't want it. So the next thing I do is I get a Fortiflora, and I'll sprinkle a Fortiflora on it, and I'll see if she'll eat it that way. It could be that she just doesn't like it. You know, with 11 cats, there's bound to be at least one or two that don't like something. Like with the instinct raw bites, Boo doesn't like those, but Stella does. So Stella's gonna taste Splash's food. I don't know, maybe she'll eat Splash's food, or maybe she's just eating the freeze-dried chicken off the top of it. So Simba just threw up. He was laying on top of the cat tower, and the other cats had recently come upstairs. So I don't know if this was because of the food he ate this morning, which was new food, or he's nervous from the other cats. And because in the past, Simba has had issues where if he's anxious, he will vomit. However, I must say that I noticed Simba's behavior was off yesterday, and I've been giving him lots of extra attention since then, and I just felt like something was off. So in my mind, this morning, I was thinking, okay, they're not going to get any crunchies at night, because I notice when they don't get crunchies, they just seem to have more energy, they're more active, and they seem to be in a better mood and feel better and all that stuff. So that's what I'm going to do. We'll see how it goes. You want to go in the room? Want to go in my room, Simba? You want me to shut the door? You relax in there? Look what I just found in Boo's room. So someone threw up the food here in front of the litter box. I don't know if this was Simba. Maybe this was Boo. I mean, that is a lot of food to throw up. Somebody overindulged. Simba's in my room. He's relaxing by himself. The window's open a little bit, and I just plugged in a Feel Away Optimum dispenser. I had it unplugged for a while, but I'm going to have to check the other dispensers in the house. I have a feeling they're empty. This one still had some liquid in it because it's been unplugged for a while. The reason why I unplugged it is because, you know, when I open the windows, I feel like, you know, it's just wasting it. I feel like they work best when the windows are shut. So that's why I had it unplugged for, I don't know, several weeks now. But I'm going to go check the other dispensers, and now I'm going to check the security camera to see if we could find out who vomited in front of the litter. Maybe it was Simba. Maybe it was Boo. According to the security camera software, it appears that the camera in Boo's room has been unplugged. Let's go look at it. Here's the outlet behind the day sofa, and look, it's plugged in. What is that about? It's plugged in. Let's plug it in. Let's plug it in again. Maybe we just need to replug it. Maybe it got knocked out or knocked offline. There's a light on it, so it's definitely getting power. So last night it recorded video up until 11:52 p.m. and then it stopped. So the storm must have had some kind of effect on it. Maybe there was like another power surge or something. This really makes me think that the previous storm damaged the hard drives. So yesterday, before the storm, there used to be a security camera attached to this chair. And because of the storm and all the wind, it got knocked off of the chair. I'm surprised that this cover survived the storm the way that it was blowing around. There was a few instances where I thought it was going to like lift off and fly away. But I do have it tied down to two of the chairs. So I think that's why it didn't lift up. But what I have to do today is find the camera. I don't know where that camera is. Hopefully it just like fell and it's underneath the table, but I don't see it under here at all. Okay, I just found it. Thankfully it got wedged here between a flower pot and then the stoop. So hopefully it still works. I mean, it's all scraped up. I'm putting it back on the chair and hopefully it'll stay there. I changed my mind because I just remembered that I had this little galvanized steel trash can, and I used to attach it to this trash can. That way I could put it anywhere on the patio that I wanted it. And it attaches with a really strong magnet. So I put it here facing the shelter and the water. I might angle it to get like this area of the patio in also. But I think it'll be better here. It'll be more interesting to see what's going on. And I have not shown this yet, but I don't know if the landscapers did this or an animal did this. But see all that wood that's just kind of hanging off of this shelter? Like it's coming off from under here, this roof area. I should just take it off. I mean, this doghouse is quite old. I got these doghouses when Boo was still outside, so that would have been 2017, which would have been 6 years ago. So they've lasted 6 years, which is pretty good. Definitely good considering what I paid for them. I got them half price at Christmas tree shops. And this one has straw inside of it. Do you see why I don't like using straw? You see how moldy and mildewy it gets? I don't like that at all. I think I need to clean off that window. I really can't see inside of it. But I don't know if anyone's been using it, but it is here in case someone wants to use it. And look at this. Now that the tree behind it is gone because that tree died. I think it died because the kittens, the Lucky 7, were scratching on it. That's how I lost my other hibiscus tree when Splash and Simba were scratching on it. But now that this tree is gone, I could actually move this back into this space between these trees. The trees would probably grow around it. The only issue if I did that is that I wouldn't be able to easily access the roof. Like the roof comes off, like I could just lift the whole roof off and get inside of it. So that's why I don't think it would be good to put it between the trees. But the fact that the tree is gone means that if a cat was sheltering in the shelter and needed to make an escape out the back door, they'd be able to easily escape out the back door. But it also means predators could also easily approach from that back side. So, I mean, you know, there's good and bad from everything. Here's my greenhouse. It feels nice and cozy in here right now. Oh, it's beautiful with the morning sunshine. I'm actually thinking maybe I'll just grab my work and then work out here for a while. It's so nice to get all this sun. So everything did really well in here through the storm. My geraniums are still blooming. They're really tall. The fig tree is doing okay. The banana tree is the plant in question for this year, but these leaves look new, these two green leaves. Hopefully we can get that through the winter. The Meyer lemon tree is doing well. The other fig tree, you know, we'll see how that does. The bay leaf plant or tree, I don't know what that is. I have to look into more information about that, but it's doing okay. I got strawberries with green leaves. The petunias are still in bloom. And then on the bottom, there are smaller geranium plants, and they all still have green leaves on them. Some of them even have some blooms. And then on the very bottom, I have my calibrachoas. I just want to see what happens with them this year. The one on the left looks like it's doing well, and there's still some green on the other ones. So maybe they'll get through the winter. It's 10:30 a.m. I don't know what's going on, but there's a bunch of hawks. It looks like a bunch of hawks circling around. I don't know what they're looking for. I just saw like 3 or 4 of them like flying around in a circle. And there's a squirrel going into my neighbor's chimney. Oh my gosh, do you see that? You see its tail? Is it gonna go down the chimney? It's just on top of the chimney. Now it jumped to the roof. It's 10:53 a.m. and here's Stella. She's hanging out with me while I work. This is how I know Stella's the alpha, because Simba, Splash, and Boo are all in my bedroom. But Stella's here. She wants to be out where the action is. Good morning, Simba. Simba woke me up this morning. He jumped on me. He was purring really loudly. I gave him a bunch of pets. Good morning, Splash. I think this is where he slept last night. Good morning, Stella. Stella loves looking out the window in the morning. Let's go downstairs and see what the kittens are doing. Good morning, Sammy. Good morning. Good morning. These are their dinner plates from last night. They had homemade raw food, and then they had some snacks. They had some Fancy Feast as a snack because I'm trying to use it up. And they also had a teaspoon of crunchies each. I will clean those up in a little bit. Good morning, Ringo. Good morning, little Eva. There's a really loud bird video on the TV. Good morning, Goldie. Good morning, Richard. Yesterday I got to pet Goldie twice. I snuck him in. I snuck in some pets yesterday. Right, Goldie? She didn't really mind it. It was so funny because like I petted her and then I held out my hand and she smacked my hand with her front paw, but she didn't have her claws out. So she was just like giving me a smack, like, what are you doing? Or she was like, well, if you're gonna pet me, I'm gonna pet you. You gonna let me pet you today, Goldie? These are two of the round mats from Sharon, and this is not where I left them last, so the cats are moving them around. This has to be Nancy and little Eva. Yeah, it's Nancy. Oh no, it's Ziggy and little Eva. This is Ziggy and little Eva. And there goes Sammy. Hello. Hi, Sammy. And here's Nancy. I found Nancy. She's in the royal cat bed. Hey, Nancy. But I came down here to put their toys on and to open the door so they can look outside. And I'm going to run outside really fast and put some bird seed out. I put a pile of bird seed on the patio, so hopefully it will attract some birds, and that'll help keep the cats entertained while I finish getting ready for my day. It is 8:50 a.m. Here's Simba. He's getting some air. Here's Boo. He's been sitting here watching the toys. I have to put them back on. Splash is getting some air in Boo's room. It's time for some playtime while I'm waiting for my breakfast. It is 9:10 a.m. Here's Richard and Nancy. I've been hearing a crybaby by the door, so we're going to go downstairs and put a toy on. Come on, guys. I'm just about to sit down and eat some breakfast. Let's go, guys. Come on. We're on a schedule today. Let's go. Come on, everybody. Move over. Move over, Richard. I'll put these back on. And then they get their fling-em-a-string. That should hold their attention. I just need them distracted for a good 20 or 30 minutes so I could eat, the other cats can eat, and then I'll come down and feed them. Today the cats are getting brushed before they have their breakfast. So in the winter, I don't brush them as much because they don't shed as much. I just brushed Boo and you could see like hardly anything came off of him. Once shedding season starts, then they get brushed every day. Come on, Simba. It's 9:30 a.m. and the cats are having their breakfast. Everyone is having instinct raw chicken bites except for Boo. He's having some homemade raw food because he does not like the instinct raw bites. So I freeze his food in separate portions. Richard, somebody made a stinky poop. Who made the stinky poop? So the nice thing about feeding cats raw food is that they don't make stinky poops with raw food. But when they eat a lot of canned food or dry food, then they tend to make stinky poops. Time to brush the cats down here. Nancy says she's going to be the first to get brushed. You're next, Ziggy? Okay. Ziggy says she misses getting flea combed every day. So thankfully right now it's not flea season, but I have been checking them. If I see them itching, then I do take out the flea comb and flea comb them. But today they're just getting brushed. It's good for their coats. Ziggy is shedding quite a bit. It's good for their circulation, their lymphatic system. Yeah, I'm surprised at how much cat hair I'm getting off of Ziggy, but she loves it. Ziggy is like Boo. Like, she loves being brushed. She would be totally happy if I just sat here all day brushing and combing her. Right, Ziggy? Okay. Good? Good, good. Okay, Sammy wants some. Yeah, okay, Sammy, I'll do you. Richard, you're next. Okay. They know to jump on this couch because this is where I flea comb them. So they like getting brushed here also. Sammy says she wants more. Okay, Richard, we're not done with you. Now, Richard has always been the one that has shedded the most. Like, I always get the most. Look at all this. Look at all this. Look at all this cat hair that I'm getting off of these guys versus the upstairs cats. So part of me still wonders if, like, Richard's coat is going to change or Nancy's coat is going to change. Because I feel like they have kitten coats. Either that or they're just super short-haired cats. Because, you know, the Fab Four, their fur really, really grew in. What are we looking at, guys? What are we looking at? Who's out there? Anybody? Is your friend out there? Your friend Bob? Sammy has her toy. We're missing all the balls for the turbo scratchers. Now it's time for some run-around games. It's almost 10 a.m. Here's Simba, he's on the bed. Here's Boo, he's on the bed. Splash just went under the bed. And Stella just came in the room. So the Fab Four are in my room. See how smart they are? They know I have to go out today. So they came in here. I'm going to shut the door. That way I don't have to, like, wrangle anyone later. And we're good. Nancy does this thing where she tries to grab her back foot. It's so funny. It's always when she wants to clean her toes. I'm in the middle of placing my order with the poultry farm. I order it online so they have it ready when I get there. The boys are all laying on the bed. Boo was up really early this morning. Stella, I gotta shut the window. It's too cold, okay? It's 11:30. Here's Nancy. I'm packing up something for the post office. She was just getting lots of pets, and I wanted to show you how pretty she is. But now she's camera shy. You camera shy? Are you camera shy? Are you camera shy? Nancy is a tuxedo cat, but she's a tabby cat. She's a tabby tuxedo. Right, Nancy? She wears a tabby tuxedo. She's purring so loudly. So when the cats are in my room with the door shut, then the lucky seven are much like, you know, they're more calm. They're not getting themselves into any issues. Well, at least today they are. They're all like relaxing already. Hey, Sammy. Hey, Nancy. Here's Sammy. She's coming to visit. Be nice. Be nice. Richard's here too. Why are you crying, Richard? You come up here, Richard. There's plenty of room. 3 cats can share these. Coming up? You gonna come up? Come on up. It's 11:53 a.m. I'm gonna put the toys on for the lucky 7. I'm just about to leave. Here's Nancy. She got up. I just got an email message from the data recovery company, and they said that they recovered my data on the damaged hard drive and they're sending it back to me. So I am very much hoping that they did recover the data and they recovered all of the data and that I will get it safely in a few days. Fingers crossed. I hope that's the case. But I got to get ready to leave. It's 2:50 and I got home a few minutes ago. I'm trying to unload my groceries and all of the ingredients for the cat food. And I have Sammy, Nancy, and Ringo looking for treats. I just gave them some Benjamin Field treats. So they're not meowing like they were. It was mostly Sammy and Nancy meowing. And I just realized that I forgot to defrost their dinner. So I just pulled out some organ meats. This is 3 ounces of ground organs. And I purchased some London broil today for the cats. It was $4.99 a pound. So that's what they're going to have. They're going to have chunky beef for dinner because this small 3-ounce portion of organs will defrost in 2-3 hours. Whereas if I pulled out their full meal, it would not defrost in time. So there will be a change in their menu today. Hey, Sammy. It's 3:30. These are all my shopping bags because we don't get either paper or plastic. And I still have to put some stuff away. And I just sat down for like a half hour to get some work done because dealing with like work emails and stuff. But now I want to finish putting everything away. And I would like to scoop the litter and give everyone fresh water. And then I'll be able to sit down and really get the rest of my work done. Right, Sammy? But first, let's check on the Fab Four. Here's Simba and Splash. Isn't that cute? They're laying on the bed together. Simba looks so happy. There's Boo. That's his new favorite spot on the bed. Here's Simba. Simba says he's very happy and he's very comfortable. And you can look at his beautiful belly. Right, Simba? Simba, you're so fluffy. Look at all of that fluffy belly. And Stella's on top of the cat tower. How you doing, Simba? Big stretch? Big stretch? Want some pets? Want some pets, Splash? Splash likes it when I give him a good massage, like with 2 hands. So I'm going to put the camera down. It is 9:05 p.m. and the cats are having their dinner. I just cut up a whole London broil into chunks for them, and I mixed it up with the organ meats that I had defrosted. Added some eggshells for calcium, Added their supplement and some fish oil, so they have a complete meal. They haven't had chunky beef in almost a week, so this is something that they usually get once a week, sometimes twice a week. I bought enough beef today to make 2 more meals for them. So tomorrow, when I do all of my raw food prep for them, I'll assemble those. And then I'll freeze them. I bought about 6 pounds of ground turkey from the farm. So that'll make about 4 meals for them, or potentially 5 because I need to add some of the chicken next to it and organ meats. And then I'll freeze those. And then I bought about 20 pounds of chicken parts. So that'll make at least 10 meals out of that. And if I give them homemade food once a day, that'll last about 2 weeks. But some days they get homemade food twice a day. And it's been about 5 days a week now that they get either commercial raw or canned food for 1 meal. So Splash finished his, Stella finished hers. She left like 2 little pieces. Simba's done with his, and Boo's still working on his. But we know Boo has teeth issues, so usually takes him a little bit longer to eat. Now I'm going to take the food downstairs and feed the Lucky 7. It's about 3:30 p.m. and the Fab Four are relaxing on the bed. And the way Boo was laying, I thought it would be easy to check on the ulcer on his lip. So I was able to do that. And I was able to take a really quick look at it. And from what I could tell, it's almost completely healed. Like it was not red at all. And it was like way smaller than it was a few weeks ago. Are you going to show us? You going to show us? Okay, you're going to show us? Let's see. So the indentation is still there, but there's no inflammation at all. Like it's not pink, and the indentation is much smaller than it was. So I'm really, really happy that that healed up very nicely for Boo. And we're definitely not going to go back onto the fancy feast because I don't believe in coincidences. I know that we live in a world of cause and effect. The other reason why I'm pretty positive it's food related is because even though the vet did give us 2 additional supplements for Boo to take, I have not been really good at giving Boo those supplements. So the majority of the days he hasn't even taken them. When we first got the supplements, he was taking like 1 a day or 1 of each a day. But then I just started giving it to him like every other day, then every few days. He hasn't really gotten them. Maybe he gets them like a few times a week now. So I haven't been really good at doing that. The reason why is because he's been getting, the supplements that I put in their raw food as well as the other multivitamin that I use as a food supplement. And I will give him those supplements. One was like feline immune support and the other one was feline whole body support. But I was more curious to see if it was food related than if the supplements could help it. So the fact that the only real change that I did for him was change his food makes me pretty certain that it was food related. So got to be careful with the foods that you choose to buy for your cats. And even though it is a low-carb food, it does not necessarily mean that the ingredients being sourced for the food are the healthiest ingredients, right, Boo? Now, all the cats were flea combed this morning, so there are no fleas on them. And I did put powder on Boo's ears, because it would be nice if the fur on his ears grew back. Now I know if he itches, it's just an itch. How's your belly doing, Boo? Your belly okay? It's growing back? Okay. I'm just about to start cleaning up the kitchen so that I can make a whole bunch of homemade raw food for the cats. It's probably going to take me a few hours. I have like 4 batches that I want to make. Okay? They heard something outside. Yeah. One of the neighbors is making a lot of noise out there. It's 9:25 a.m. and look at Stella. Look at this. So yesterday, I went outside and I came back and Stella was by the back door. And I was like, oh, that's good because, Stella, Splash, and Simba have not been wanting to go downstairs since the Lucky Seven have been around. So then today, I just went downstairs to get some supplies from my laundry room. I have pantry shelves in my laundry room that I keep extra supplies and stuff. So I went down there to get hairspray and conditioner. And I just came back up and Stella was by the door and I was like, oh, you want to look downstairs? So then she went by the back door. And here's Boo. So this is good. It's a gradual process. 2 different cat families are not going to automatically accept each other overnight. It does take time, especially when you're dealing with numbers. It's not just 1 cat and 1 cat. We're dealing with 4 cats and 7 cats. So, is Boo going to go down the stairs and look? I put all the electronic toys on downstairs. I put them on upstairs also, so all the electronic toys are on. It's 10:20 a.m. and the cats are having Stella and Chewy's beef for breakfast. We're trying it again. This is the second half of the bag. Then we're done with it. And I'm keeping an eye on the cats because I think Boo gorged himself last time and threw up from eating too much. And I'm trying to see if Simba threw up from the food or from stress. So we'll see what happens today. I'm making sure Boo does not eat more than his portion. Splash is eating in the living room because sometimes Splash is afraid of new foods. So I put him over there. Stella needed some Fortiflora on her food in order to eat it. She's really not a fan of it. Look at this. What is Boo doing? Boo! Don't eat Simba's. You have your own here. Here. Finish yours. You have your own. So Simba found Splash's plate. I don't know why Splash is not eating. I put some crunchies on Splash's plate. I put some Fortiflora on it. I put some freeze-dried chicken. He has, every enticement to eat that. He's not eating it. Now Boo is eating what's on Stella's plate. Stella ate most of her food, which is good. So she just needed some Fortiflora as a bribe. Now, they're getting a smaller serving today than they did the other day. So if he eats a little bit off of Stella's plate, that's fine. He still has a little bit on his plate. I'm letting Simba eat some of Splash's food because Simba still has a lot of food on his plate. I'll let him eat his 1 portion. And then I'm going to pick up whatever's left. Boo just discovered that there are 2 plates of food here, so I'm going to pick this up. Because Boo goes crazy over this food. And I don't want him to eat too much. Now he's trying to get Simba's food. Boo, get away from there. Here's Boo. Splash is in my room with what's left of his plate of food. And I put some crunchies on it. So hopefully he'll eat the crunchies. And that'll be his breakfast. If he eats part of the food, that'll be fine also. I just need to keep Boo away from it. I think Simba ate enough between both of the plates to be satisfied for breakfast. Now I'm going to go feed the other cats. But definitely, out of all 11 cats, Boo is the one that absolutely loves the Stella and Chewy's beef. Which is good for me to know because when I buy the Instinct Raw Bites, which all of the other cats like, Boo does not like that food. So now I know I could get him the Stella and Chewy's beef instead, and he would be perfectly happy. Right, Boo? Look who came out to play. It's Ringo. Ringo's one of the gentle players. Ringo, Eva, and Goldie like gentle play. And the other cats like crazy play. That's Richard. Richard likes crazy play. Sometimes I wonder if Ringo, Eva, and Goldie like crazy play when I'm not around. They might like crazy play when it's only cats. I have to make sure Richard does not bite the clear string. Right now we're having some before breakfast playtime. Hey Goldie. Hello Goldie. Hello Goldie. She's talking to Sammy. Sammy's sitting on the couch right behind me. Hey Goldie. Did you want to play? Want to play? Look at Ringo. He's all stretched out. Hey, Goldie. Look at this. Goldie's splooting right near me. Hey, Goldie. Look what's going on here. Sometimes they like the wand better than the toy. The toy was on standby. Hey, Ringo. Sammy got mad at him for touching her tunnel. Sammy, you could share your tunnel. You could share the tunnel. I just came upstairs and found this. So this Stella and Chewy's beef is not something I'm going to buy again for the cats because it's making somebody vomit. I don't know if this is Simba or Boo. It's one of the two. And of course, oh my gosh, so close. Just have a little vomit on the slipper. I'm going to have to clean that. Here's what's going on with the Stella and Chewy's beef. hardly anyone ate it at all. So I just put like a little teaspoon of crunchies on each plate just to try to entice the cats to eat some of it. It's been like 20 minutes and maybe 2 of the plates are only partially eaten. The other plates, like no one wants to touch it. So I will definitely not be buying this food again, even if Boo's the only one that likes it. So the cats don't want to eat the raw food from the local poultry farm. And they don't like the Stella and Chewy's beef. It's 2:15 p.m. and I need to clean up a bunch of these Chewy boxes from the other day. And I'm going to take this largest one and I'm going to cut holes in it. Do you see there's a cat door on that one side? I'm going to cut another cat door on this side, tape the top shut, and then I'll probably put this downstairs. Is Sammy going to go in it? She loves tunnels. I think the door is big enough. I mean, the door should be big enough. It's 4:30 p.m. Look at what's going on here. These 3 are so funny. I just walked into the room to get something, and I saw the 3 of them laying next to each other like this. And then I look, and Ringo's on top of the cat tower. Ringo loves the cat tower in this room. He loves the view from the window. So here's these 3. And here's Boo right here. So there's Boo, Stella, Splash, and Simba. It reminds me of when they were all so small living outside. Stella would take care of her babies, and then Boo would be like their protector. He would make sure nothing bad happened to them. Stella's resting her head on Splash's back. Look at these 2. Splash loves it. I don't know what he has on his face. What's on your face, Splash? It is 8 a.m. Here's Boo. This is where he slept last night. He doesn't have fleas. He doesn't have dermatitis. I don't know why he's itching. Maybe just like dry winter skin. Here's Splash. Here's Stella. And here's Simba. It is 20 degrees outside. So the cold weather has hit us. And this week is supposed to be a really cold week. So far, we've been pretty lucky and the weather has been warmer. This week, it's going to be in like the 20s. At night, it's going to get down to the teens. And I am so not happy about that. I hate cold weather. And yeah, that's the situation. Thankfully, I don't think I need to go anywhere today. I would love to not have to go outside if I don't have to. But obviously, when I scoop litter later this afternoon, I do. And I also want to check the heater in my greenhouse. I put a little heater on, a timer the other day. And like at night, I have 2 strands of old-fashioned Christmas lights, which help to keep the greenhouse warm inside. But since it's getting so cold, whenever the temperature goes down below, like into the 20s and the teens, I put on an extra heater in there. I have a little tiny 200-watt heater, and it seems to be doing good because I just checked the temperature in the greenhouse, and it's like 45 degrees in the greenhouse. It's 20 degrees outside, so that's a very nice difference of 25 degrees. So hoping that continues to be the case, and we'll see what happens. And here's Simba. Hey, Simba. So last night I was trying to taper the cats off of their crunchies because, you know, they got a lot of crunchies because of Christmas, and I'm still trying to taper them off the crunchies. We were doing so good with being off crunchies before Christmas. So I don't know what happened, but I only gave them each like 1 teaspoon of crunchies along with a little bit of canned food. And I don't know, 20 minutes later, there was a fight. And based on the security camera footage that I saw, Simba was chasing Stella, and then Stella ran here behind this chair, and Simba followed her, and the two of them got in a fight behind the chair. And then Boo decided that he's going to break it up, I guess, so he came running in through here, and then Boo gets like flipped backwards, then all the cats go running. I don't know what that was about, but it could be something that Stella provoked because Stella is known to bite Simba's butt. Maybe she bit his butt one too many times and he got mad at it. Meanwhile, as I'm filming this, I've been watching somebody outside and they're all bundled up and they're walking along the woods and they've been going in and out of the woods. It's just really strange behavior because it's 20 degrees out. Usually the only people that I see walking around this time are either walking their dogs or walking to a local bus stop where they could take a bus into New York City because I'm like 5 miles away from Manhattan. So a lot of people commute to the city by bus. Some other people commute to the city by train. But there's a good amount of people that commute by bus, and I'm within walking distance of a bus stop, so I don't know what was going on there. I mean, usually when it's 20 degrees out, someone's not taking a walk just for the joy of taking a walk. And if they are, they're not going in and out of the woods, which is weird. You know, with all of the recent cats gone missing and people trying to kidnap dogs, I always keep my eyes and ears alert to strange things. It's 11:15 a.m. and I did not want to go outside until later, but the birds are having a party on the patio. Boo's watching from the window in his room. Sammy is looking out of the back door. She's right below me. But I'm not going to chase them away. I'll wait till they're done. I did not put any food out for them today, so they're just eating like whatever leftovers they could scrounge up. And they also really like the water bowl. Yesterday I put fresh water in the water bowl because it looks like Bob, the big tabby cat that my neighbors feed, my neighbors down the block feed him. Well, he's been coming around every night and enjoying the fresh water in that bowl. So I made sure there was fresh water in it. And yeah. Oh, look at the cardinal. You see the cardinal? I can't zoom in any farther and I don't want to move closer to the door to scare them. It's not a red cardinal. It's the other color. I don't know, are the red ones the males or the red ones the females? But there's a lot of happy birds outside. Okay, so it's actually going to be a bit warmer than I thought it would be, but it's still 28 out, which is pretty cold. It's 11:25 a.m. I just walked past the room and saw this. Boo's on top of the day sofa. He's growling. And Nancy's on the floor, howling and wiggling her tail. Nancy, come here. Nancy? Nancy? This is Boo. Boo's your brother. Nancy, Boo is your brother. I'm going to sit here because Boo's your brother. He's not doing anything wrong, okay? This is his room. He's laying on his bed. Okay, Nancy, you got to share this room with him, okay? You're okay, Boo. You're okay, Boo. You're okay. Tambourine always works. It is 7 p.m. and here's Sammy. Hey, Sammy. All of the other members of the Lucky Seven are downstairs. Richard and Nancy just went downstairs because I'm getting ready to give everyone their dinner. And Sammy doesn't want to leave the spot. She said she's perfectly happy here. She does not want to leave the spot. So I'm going to let her stay here. And I'm going to give everyone their dinner. And if she wants to eat later, that's fine, because Sammy had a squeeze up only about an hour ago. What happened was, I was downstairs and I'm doing like laundry and cleaning up some stuff. And little Eva was in a bed down there. And I was like, oh, maybe I could give little Eva a squeeze up. So I very quietly opened up one of those plastic containers of squeeze ups. I swear the minute I touched it, it was like Sammy knew what I was doing, and I heard the patter of little feet running across the house, down the stairs, and right to where I was. And I don't know how Sammy knew, but she knew I was getting a squeeze up open. So then I tried to feed it to little Eva, but she was afraid of it. So then Sammy ate it. She ate some of it, and Goldie ate some of it, and Ziggy ate a little bit of it. Now, this was after Sammy had a squeeze up in the kitchen. The reason why I gave Sammy a squeeze up in the kitchen was because I was trying to make myself dinner. I wanted to eat like an early dinner, and Sammy just kept crying and meowing and crying and meowing. I was like, what do you want, Sammy? So I gave her some treats, but she still wanted more, so I gave her a squeeze up, and that seemed to satisfy her. And now look how happy she is right here. She's like, I'm just going to stay here. Okay, Sammy, you want to stay here? You can stay here. You're a good girl. It is 7:44 p.m. Sammy is still here. And I knew she was not going to be eating dinner downstairs, but, I made her a plate anyway. The plate's still downstairs. I came upstairs because I don't know where Ziggy is. So I thought Ziggy was downstairs, but she didn't show up for dinner either. So I'm going to look around up here, see if Ziggy's up here. Maybe she's up here with Sammy. I don't know. Maybe she's downstairs somewhere. I don't want to poke around downstairs while the other ones are eating because I'd rather them just eat. When they're finished eating, if I still haven't found Ziggy, then I'll look downstairs. It's 8 a.m. Good morning, Simba. How are you today? We got snow overnight. I'm kind of afraid to look out the window and see how much. So it looks like we got less snow so far than we got the last time it snowed. Right now it looks like we only have maybe an inch, less than 2 inches, which would be great because it's not going to warm up anytime soon. It's not going to turn to rain. Well, it's not supposed to turn to rain. So I'm really hoping this is all that we get. I hate snow. Can't stand it. Hate it. Hate cold weather. And it looks like someone has been visiting the water bowl. Does not look like anyone's been using the shelter, which is fine. I've been looking at the security camera footage over the past few days, and the big tabby cat Bob has been coming by to use the water bowl at night. And what he likes to do is then walk over there into the bushes and just hang out in the bushes. Maybe the bushes provide him some shelter. But it hasn't been snowing, so it's not like he needs shelter from snow or anything. Maybe just likes laying there. I don't know. Good morning, Stella. How are you today, Stella? It is 25 degrees outside. Very cold. Here's Boo. Good morning, Boo. I just checked the forecast, and it says that the precipitation is going to change to freezing rain later today, and it's going to happen in a few hours. So I need to hurry up, get ready for my day, and get a few errands done. I need to run to the post office because they were closed for the past 2 days. And, I need to get moving. Let me tell you what happened to me this morning. So I was sleeping, and something woke me up, and I opened my eyes, and Simba was laying on the bed like a little loaf, and he was about a foot away from my face, and he was just staring at me. And then I looked to his right, and Boo is like a foot away from Simba in the same exact loaf position, and he was just staring at me. I was like, what is going on? Why are the two of them just laying there and staring at me? So I gave them some cat treats, and then I went back to bed, and I was like, that's really weird. And then I ended up having the strangest dream. Like, it was so vivid. And I was in some city. I want to say it was like New York City. And I was meeting up with a bunch of friends for dinner at this restaurant. And it was a really, really good French restaurant. Like, the food was really, really good. I remember that. But it was the most bizarre restaurant because you kind of like walk through a shop to get to the tables. And then we were sitting in beach chairs at this, it was like a picnic table and you're sitting in beach chairs, but it had like a formal menu and, you know, the food was very like formal French food. And what made it even weirder was that we heard like cat noises coming from above us, like someone was being mean to a cat above us, and we could hear the person saying nasty things to the cat, and we could hear the cat like trying to get away from the person or crying or like hissing. And I was just like, what is going on? So then we found out that there was a pet store the floor above the restaurant. And I remember thinking, okay, I got to go up and see what's going on in that pet store. And then at one point we got a menu, and this was the weirdest part of the dream. I don't know if we had already gone up to the pet store or what, but at one point we got a menu, and you open up the menu and it was a selection of cat toys, and it was like all these different little cat toys, and you could purchase cat toys for the cats. And I think that part of the dream happened because yesterday I was watching videos of a cat cafe, and I was like, maybe part of the cat cafe mixed into that dream. But it was one of those dreams you wake up from and you're like, wow, that was crazy. And like, you totally feel like it actually happened. Right, Stella? It is 9:50 a.m. and the cats are eating their breakfast. They're having Primal Raw chicken and salmon nuggets. Hopefully they will all like them. They've had these a few weeks ago. My original plan was not to buy these, but to buy the Instinct Raw Bites, but I couldn't. For some reason, Boo always likes to eat Stella's food because I put a little bit of the freeze-dried chicken on top. Then he tries to eat her freeze-dried chicken because she doesn't like it. Look at this. Then Splash is trying to eat Boo's. Come on. Eat your food. Eat that. This could be a situation where Boo does not like these primal nuggets, and that's why he's trying to eat Stella's freeze-dried chicken. He's looking around. He says, whose freeze-dried chicken can I eat? Usually Simba eats his really good. Once Stella is done, if she leaves any freeze-dried chicken on her plate, then I'll let Boo eat it. But I don't want him eating like her food. It's always good to find some kind of food that all 11 cats will enjoy, but you know, when you have 11 people, are they all going to like the same thing? Not always. Look at this. I just sprinkled some more of the freeze-dried chicken on Boo's plate, so hopefully he'll eat that. And hopefully he will eat the food underneath the freeze-dried chicken. He's wearing a whole bunch of the freeze-dried chicken. Simba's still eating his food. Look at him. Look at Boo's head. That's it, Boo. That's what you're getting, okay? Look at what's going on down here. I don't know what they did. There goes Sammy. She just ambushed someone from the tunnel. They got the sheet off the couch, so I have to put this back on. One of the new things I do is I just sit down in the middle of the couch and I see who comes to visit me. Ziggy always visits me, and Richard visits me. And Sammy and Nancy usually visit me. And Goldie and Eva will look around, and so will Ringo. There's Goldie. Hey, Goldie! Okay, good. So here's Richard. Richard, such a nice boy. Except he likes to jump on the other cats. I don't want to jinx anything, but I think Simba's getting used to Richard a little bit because yesterday I looked in my room and Simba was on top of the armoire and Richard was on top of the cat tower, like right near Simba. It's 11:30 a.m. and here's Boo. Isn't he cute? So last night I took this blanket out of the closet, I rolled it up and I wrapped it like in a circle, like it was kind of like a cat bed. And Boo's been laying in it. I have to find his cat bed. There's a few cat beds I currently still have in storage downstairs from the flea situation. I have to find them. But what I wanted to say was I just got back. I ran to the post office and to the supermarket. I feel like it took me forever. And I ended up buying more things at the supermarket than I thought I would. Because I wanted to make sure that I had a good amount of food in the house because I just got back and everything is turning to ice. So when I left the house probably a little more than an hour ago, it was all powder. I was like, oh, this is great. The snow's just really powdery. It'll be easy to shovel when I get back. Well, when I got out of the supermarket and I got in my car was just covered in a sheet of ice. And when I was pushing the shopping cart through the parking lot, the shopping cart was like sliding all over the place. I've never had that happen before. So that's how I knew the pavement was covered in ice. Then I had to drive home super carefully because I don't want to slide into anyone. And it's only supposed to get worse as the day goes on. So I need to unload all of my bags really fast. I need to grab something to eat because I'm very hungry. And then I have to go outside and shovel what I can of this snow. I'm not going to, shovel everything. I don't want to take the big snowblower out because then I have to, kind of disrupt everything in the garage to get it out. So I'm going to grab a shovel and hope that the snow is still, somewhat powdery and light so I could easily shovel. I have to shovel the patio. I have to shovel the driveway. I have to shovel a lot of sidewalk. We're talking like over 100 feet of sidewalk. I have to shovel the front walkway, the front steps, the back steps. Like there's a lot of shoveling. So here's Nancy and Richard. The lucky seven are like, what's going on? Because their routine was disrupted this morning. I left them downstairs when I ran out to run the errands because I wanted to get out as quickly as possible. But they did get breakfast before I left. What are you doing, Nancy? What are you doing, Nancy? What I've learned about Nancy is that when she's downstairs and that like when she's content, like laying in a cat bed or like on top of a cat tower or looking out of a window, she almost goes into like a zone, like a different mental zone than like when she's not content. So I've learned to just like not pet her, like not reach out to her, just like completely leave her alone when she's in a contented zone. And then everything is nice and peaceful and calm. But if she's in a contented zone, and if I go and if I pet her like this, and I'm like, hey, Nancy, how are you? And I approach her, then she snaps out of her contentment. And then she starts like following me around, wants to go upstairs, like all that kind of stuff. So that's what I've learned recently when I see her and she has like a contented, glazed over look on her face, to just completely leave her alone. Don't even say anything. Just let her be happy. Hey, Sammy. Right, Nancy? Right, Nancy? But you're so cute, Nancy. You're so cute. I want to pet you. Here's Ziggy. There were just a bunch of other cats with her here. I don't know where they went. Boo's in his room. I have the door shut. And the other three are in my room. I have the door shut because I have to go outside. I have to go outside and shovel. And then when I come back in, oh look, there's Ringo. When I come back in, everyone can be together. It is 12:45 p.m. And I ended up taking the snowblower out because this snow is now so heavy. The snowblower was even having problems like throwing it. It is so heavy because it's now like freezing rain on top of it. I should have cleared it off earlier, but I'm glad I took the snowblower out because it only took me about an hour to get everything done. I did the majority of the patio. Like you can see these areas I did not do, but I cleared a path to like the water bowl, the shelter, the main patio area, the greenhouse, the other side of the house, the entire driveway, all of my sidewalks, the entire front steps, the back steps, the front walkways. So it was a lot, but I'm glad I got it done. I'm soaking wet because, it's been raining out, and hopefully nothing is going to freeze over, but it's supposed to all turn to ice. Like, everything's going to freeze, so very happy I got it done. It is 2:15 p.m. I just came inside and I thought I heard growling. Sure enough, here's Nancy. Boo's on the day sofa. He's been growling at her. Come on, Nancy, come on out. Come on out. You don't need to be in there, okay? Come on out. Let's go. Let's move out. Come on, I got things to do, Nancy. I'd like to give a shout out to Abril and CR Barboni. Thank you so much for your patronage this month and your generous support.